Here we go.
Is like gravity. All it takes is a little push.
What's up, guys? How you doing? Welcome back to the channel. So glad you stopped by. And if you're brand new, welcome. Grab a seat, stay a while. But do me a couple favors first. Go down and hit that subscribe button. Go next door, ring that bell. Make sure it says all so you know when the next video pops up. Hit that like button. And before you head out, drop a comment. And if you're one of the over 700 regulars here, well, welcome back for another round. I ask that you also hit that like button. And before you leave, drop a comment. Because YouTube does love those comments. And of course, share this video out on all social media. Social media, Instagram, X down below in the description. Again, check out the link to that Joker Voice merch store. Get yourself some pretty cool stuff. I'm just saying. Okay, now that we're about a week removed from WrestleMania, what stories and feuds are going to be going forward? And this has to do with the champions. And we got new champions at WrestleMania. So let's take a look at the champs and who I think will most likely challenge and possibly dethrone the WWE champions. Now, we'll be going through the main roster and NXT and looking at the singles titles. Let's be honest, when it comes to the tag team division, frankly...
Seriously, no one cares.
Okay, so we're going to start with the mid-tier titles, and we're going to start over with NXT and the new Women's North American Champion, Sol Ruca, who I saw win that title in a ladder match at NXT Stand and Delivers. Pretty cool, not going to lie. Now, going through the current roster and a possible storyline going forward, I think that the next threat to Sol Ruca as North American Champion is none other than her tag team partner, Zarya. And now when it comes to the men's North American Champion, Ricky Saints, let's just play this out here, as Ricky Saints is former AEW. He took the title from Shawn Spears, former AEW. He just recently defended at Stand and Deliver against Ethan Page, former AEW. So the logical next person to challenge is the only other former AEW talent on the NXT roster, and that would be Lexis King.
Yeah, I can see that.
So now moving over to the main roster and the ladies mid-tier championships over there, both of which, in my opinion, are in desperate need of a title change and a new face put on these belts. So we're going to start with Smackdown and the United States Women's Champion, Chelsea Green. Now, best scenario I can come up with is a title change that's going to put some more star power and importance on this. And this is no disrespect to Chelsea at all. She's been doing the best work of what she's been given. But I think as far as putting some prestige on this belt, the face change is necessary. And I can think of no better person on the SmackDown roster than Alexa Bliss. Now, with the Women's Intercontinental Champion is in the exact same situation over on Raw. But with the current champion, Lyra Valkyria, WWE with the Raw After Mania gave us a clear direction on where they're going to go. The recent heel turn of returning Becky Lynch is obviously the program that Becky will take the title, give Lyra the babyface chase to give her character a chance to get over with the WWE fans.
Obviously.
Okay, now this brings us to the men's mid-tier titles on the main roster. We'll start with the new United States champion, the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu. Now, I see most likely to challenge Jacob in what promises to be an amazing feud and some banger matches. Recently returning to the WWE, I see Aleister Black. And we also have a new Intercontinental Champion, and that is Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Now, in what I think is good, we're going to revisit it. They touched on it on Monday, but I think it's going to play out a little more. Again, this will be an exciting feud, but not only to challenge, but to eventually become the new Intercontinental Champion, none other than Cero Miedo Penta.
It's so badass.
Now we're talking about the big boys and girls. So we're going to talk about the top titles across all three brands. We're going to go ladies first. And we're going to start with NXT and the women's champion, La Primera, Stephanie Vaquer. Now, I'm not going to go with the obvious choices of Julia or Jordan Grace because I think we're going to get some main roster call ups sooner rather than later. So I'm going to pick someone maybe a little bit out of the box here, but she's been hovering around the main event scene in NXT. And I think the eventual one to take the title and send Stephanie to the main roster is none other than Jada Parker.
Well, that's interesting.
Over on SmackDown, Tiffany Stratton defended her title at WrestleMania 41. And since nobody wants to see Tiffany and Charlotte again, I think the newly turned heel Naomi seems like a very likely challenger for Tiffy time. And that brings us to Raw and the women's world champion, Io Sky. Rhea does seem like the obvious based on the Monday after Mania, but I don't want to see them visiting that right now anytime soon. So how about someone who actually has a win over Io in a title match? I don't know. Let's say Liv Morgan?
I'm just saying.
Now we're looking at the champions across all three brands and starting again with NXT. And after looking at the roster, the only one who I think can take down the ruler, Obafemi, is Godzilla. I'm serious because there's nobody taking this title from Oba anytime soon.
Well, you're not wrong.
Now at WrestleMania, we got a new World Heavyweight Champion, and that is Jey Uso. Great moment, well earned for sure. But who should challenge Jey? Well, again, the Raw after Mania gave us the obvious pick, and that is Seth freaking Rollins.
Duh.
And that brings us to the 17-time champion, John Cena, who we know is going to be facing Randy Orton at Backlash. That much is certain. But as far as dethroning Cena, now I pitched this idea to myself, and I think I'm kind of gotten married to it because I really like this idea of Money in the Bank. Let's run this back, folks. John Cena versus CM Punk. Punk winning the title from John and blowing a kiss to Dwayne Johnson. CM Punk's own little way of saying,
Hey, Rock! Go fuck yourself!
but hey, these are just my thoughts. I want to hear what you think down below in the comments. And be sure, tune in next week, 6 p.m. Pacific, new time, 6 p.m. Pacific, as we'll be discussing a whole lot of stuff from the world of professional wrestling. Talking about Wednesday night is overbooked. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, folks. Again, quick reminder before you head out the door, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, hey, thanks for sticking around this long. I appreciate it. And we'll see you folks all very soon. Hope you had a great week. Have a wonderful weekend ahead of you. Always have fun. Keep talking. Keep smiling. Until next time, doodles.